Right, so what is up guys, SDPZ here, and today we're going to be giving my thoughts on obviously a massive topic. Last night we did witness Jake Paul absolutely knock out Nate Robinson, of course on the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr Undercard. And I've got to say, the Roy Jones Jr fight versus Mike Tyson was actually very entertaining as well. Mike Tyson seems to just basically be beating him up. It was actually quite entertaining. I stayed up last night to watch it. It was a good laugh, but we're here today to talk about Jake Paul specifically, and of course the fight with Nate Robinson and what that means for the future. Now, if you don't know and you somehow live under a rock, last night Jake Paul was fighting former NBA star Nate Robinson. He has been training for about 6 months for this fight, whereas Jake has probably been training for at least a year, maybe two. So there obviously was going to be a bit of an experience difference, and obviously with Jake having already had one fight professionally against Gibb, and obviously that amateur fight against Deji, he was always going to have the experienced edge over Nate Robinson, but I didn't think it would be quite as much of an edge as it turned out to be. Personally, I don't get me wrong, I don't like Jake Paul. There's not really, I think we've made that clear on the channel in the past. So I'm not his biggest fan. I don't really like him. I think he's a bit of a knobhead. And I really wanted Nate to win. I wanted Nate to knock him out. I want him to just humble Jake, and Jake to be able to just have a world where Jake hasn't got such an ego and he shuts up and probably goes quiet for a bit. Unfortunately, that was simply not the case. He just simply wasn't as good as Jake. He simply wasn't. He didn't really have much technique. He sort of went out with the idea of just swinging punches and hopefully hitting, which obviously isn't going to work against someone who is, and to be fair to him, a very good fighter and trained like Jake Paul is. We all wanted to see Nate win, but I don't think it was ever going to happen. As soon as they walked into the first round, I think you could see where the fight was going. Within the minute and a half into the second round, where he did end the fight, I think he'd already knocked him down twice by this point, and then the final knockout punch is filthy. I don't know whether you guys have seen it. I'll play it now for you guys.
In the hymns, he's trying to get that's it! Mamma mia, the problem child proving to be a big problem for Nate Robinson.
But as you can see, he genuinely looks like he may have died at this point. He didn't move for like a good minute after this. Like, it was actually brutal. Like, it was a hell of a punch. You've got to give it to Jake. And he just fought well. He fought well. He was aggressive. He got big hits in. He knocked him down twice and then literally KO'd him. So you can't say he wouldn't have won the fight. He was fantastic, and you got to give it to him. As much as I don't like him, I got to give it to him. He was absolutely fantastic. However, this leads to some interesting things in the future. Now, obviously, we all know that there is the KSI Jake Paul beef. Will this fight ever happen? Are we seeing this fight maybe happening next year? Now, I am hoping for a yes. I really hope this fight does happen, as KSI did tweet after the fight, basically along the lines, didn't see anything special, wasn't that great, soon come Jake. But I mean, personally, I kind of agree. I didn't see anything amazing because I don't think Nate posed too much of a challenge to Jake. I think Jake was just simply better. Jake was obviously simply better than Gibb as well. Neither of these boxers necessarily posed Jake the biggest challenge. I'd quite like to see someone who does pose him a challenge and makes him work, makes him have to think about things, makes him defend, a bit like Deji did in the first fight. But it just wasn't like that. It was so easy for him, and I can see where KSI is coming from with this tweet. I know obviously this has caused a lot of drama. Logan Paul got involved, but I mean, he needs to pipe down. His boxing record is not great. I'd pipe down if I was him. But you know, it's an interesting one. I mean, at the end of the fight, of course, as we all expected, Jake did win. Obviously, he's gone over to the media team, and of course, at the end of the fight, he has called out KSI along with a lot of other names. He actually called out Logan, his brother, for a fight, which I didn't see coming because they seem to be all pally-pally at the minute. So I was a bit surprised he's called his brother out for a fight. Obviously, he called out JJ, which I think we were all expecting, and hopefully we are going to see next year. I think that will be the sort of end title fight of YouTube boxing. Maybe not end title fight, that's sort of the wrong idea, but that will sort of define the best of the best. You've got two undefeated boxers in the YouTube boxing community. That will be best of the best. Whoever wins that, you're the best. There's no debate around that for me. But hopefully we see that next year. But he also did something a bit mental. And he called out Conor McGregor. Now, why he thought this was a good idea, absolutely beyond me. And I hope it's not for a UFC match like Logan Paul seems to think he can do Conor McGregor in a UFC match. Absolutely not. He would get absolutely clapped. And whether Jake Paul is calling him out for UFC or boxing, I just see him absolutely battering him either way. You got to think that Conor McGregor went into a ring with an undefeated Floyd Mayweather and won all 4 of the first rounds of the fight. And the only reason he didn't win that fight is simply because his cardio and it's just not as good as like his stamina is not amazing in fights. We know this from watching him in UFC. But the first 4 fights, he went out and outboxed one of the best boxers of all time. Simple facts. So. Nah, come on, Jake. You're pushing it too far, and I don't ever see this going anywhere. I think this just is a little call out for a bit of basically more media attention. I don't see this going anywhere. I don't see Conor McGregor joining in with this, and if he does, I'd be so surprised. I feel like he's got bigger things on his plate. Obviously, he's fighting Dustin Poirier again soon. Is that later this year, maybe in December? So that's obviously his main focus at the minute. JJ obviously has his tour coming in the new year, which I've got tickets to. I'm going to. I'm pretty gassed for. But obviously, I'm assuming that is probably his main focus at the minute. Obviously, his music. So I don't know. Obviously, there's plenty of fights on the table. He's called Dillon Dannis. He called out as well. He's obviously called out Austin McBroom recently. Adam Salah, Fuzi. There's so many people he keeps calling out. Like I don't even know who he wants to fight at this point. He just calls out the whole community and hopes that someone says yes, pretty much. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see it out of spaces, but I'm not sure. Right, so let me know your thoughts on the fight. Did you watch the fight last night? And if you did, were you impressed with what Jake did or not? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts of the fight were and who you think he might fight next. That'd be interesting to see for you guys. Make sure that you do join the Discord that is down below. It's top link in the description. We did have a nice conversation in Discord all about this fight, who we thought was going to win in the Discord. We obviously talk about videos. It's just a nice community to build together on YouTube, so make sure you do join if you are interested in that. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like on this video if you have enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new around here. We're trying to hit 1,500 by the end of the year. I believe we're on 1,224, so we are... No, 1,424, sorry. So we are 76? Is that my maths? Yeah, 76 subscribers away from doing it, and we've got the whole of December. Can we do it? Maybe. Well, I might be pushing it, but I really think you guys can do it. Your support has been fantastic. Let's keep it up. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Plenty more videos over the festive period.
I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever when I can't